My parents never thought the world was going to end in 10 years. I'll tell you that right now.
Tell that to the residents of Namasaki.
Where's Namasaki? Nagasaki?
Nagasaki. That would have been way better if I got the name right. That's high.
Bro, I
was
thought
thinking
that
of
was some
Mario.
new shit.
Mario Yamasaki.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking of
I got my
Park.
words stumbled. I should have said Hiroshima, but I was trying to be crafty. I choked.
Yeah.
Damn it. Under pressure. Live podcast. Fuck. I just want to apologize to anybody I might have insulted during this podcast. I barely been myself. Do you know they stopped World War I because of wolves?
No.
Do you know there's a ceasefire?
They could all link up.
There was a
what?
ceasefire between the Russians and the Germans because so many of them were getting killed by wolves.
That's nuts.
They decided to
Fuck.
They decided to get together and kill the wolves and then go back to killing each other.
No.
Yes,
I saw that picture of them playing soccer on Christmas.
The
they
Christmas
did that
truce.
too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
How?
because they were trapped. They were trapped in a crazy world. And the world's still crazy. It's just crazy with more information. David Fravor had one of the most impactful UFO video encounters that's ever happened. It was off the coast of San Diego, and they found this thing that moved from 50,000 feet above sea level to 50 in less than a second. They don't know what it is. They have no idea what it was. But it was actively monitoring them because it blocked all of their tracking devices, which is technically an act of war. And then just fucking just took off, gone, and went back to their cat point, which is the place where they had like a designated spot where they're supposed to meet up during this mission. Because what they're doing with this mission is a training mission, and they had a dedicated. And that fucking UFO went to that spot. It's like, I know where you're going, bitch.
Whoa.
And then took off again and gone.
Wow.
And then when they relayed this to the Nimitz, he was explaining how the people that were working there were like, we see these things like every couple of weeks. We have no idea what the fuck it is. We don't know what.
So you're 100% convinced UFOs?
I'm not, because it could be a drone that they don't tell those people about. It could be something that the government's working on. It could
Or
be
a different government or something.
most likely us. See, the thing about communism is like like the way they do it over there is like / communism / capitalism. Maybe that works, but a lot of what they do is they steal a lot of intellectual property from the United States. It's one of the problems. There's not a problem with United States stealing intellectual property from China, as far as I know. It doesn't make the news, but they banned Huawei. The reason why they banned Huawei
The
is
cell
'cause
phone company, right?
the company that they make modems as well. They make many things, but they found like enough of an indication that they were suspicious. There's some back doors in order to get data. So if you're using like Huawei devices and you have some like super secure network that's developing nuclear weapons or whatever the fuck you're doing, they would get all that data. And there's like, hey,
Chill the fuck out.
hey. You know, we're in this weird time where we're only like a decade or so away from nothing being a secret, ever.
What do you mean?
There will be no more secrets. You'll be able to read minds. You're coming to a place where language is probably going to be universal, and you're going to be able to communicate with people that are nowhere near you using the power of your thought.
This is the Neuralink.
This is many of these technologies they're developing. If you had to think about where it's going to go, that's where it's going to go.
That's one guy I talked to. He said that's the end point of AI. That's where it's all headed. We're all in one consciousness.
Well, it might be. You gave me a broken glass, you cocksuckers. I almost caught myself. I would have died.
Wow.
If you, please,
The Russians.
please.
I think you can understand how the internet might have taken it, right? And then doubling down and being like, it's okay to have this as a preference that you like. Usually, your preference is what you like, not what you don't.
Exactly.
I think that was the biggest issue. Like, if you just
Yes.
like, hey, my preference is I kind of like Latinas, I don't even think you get any pushback. But saying my preference is I don't like that. That's, I think, where people start to feel rejected, and then they go, why don't you like me, man? Like,
And
what's
also
wrong?
the way they said they didn't like it. Like that's what I was like bothered by the clip. It's like you guys go out of your way to say what you don't like, even though that's not what you're discussing. It's like your preference is what you do like, but then the way in which you went about how you don't like black women. Oh, I don't like the ratchet. I don't like the ghetto. I don't like the Shaniquas. Like that's like, if you were a white person saying all that, that's racist shit. And I'm just disappointed in you guys as black men to be talking about our sisters like that. So you don't have a problem with the way you spoke about your sisters like that? Like if it was him saying the same thing, you would be upset.
No.
So if he was like, "Oh, I don't like ghetto black women. I don't like Shaniqua's,"
it wouldn't bother me.
That's the preference.
Wow.
Because the thing is that
that's lame.
the only thing I can control is my reactions to what happens in the world. Like the world is not a fun. It's not like a rosy place where everyone is gonna not be biased or not be racist or whatever. Like I understand that there's gonna be people that are inherently racist. It is what it is. The only thing I can control is my emotions to it. So I don't get mad about what people say because that's just the way things are. The world doesn't owe me understanding.